Watch_dogs. I'm Thomas. This is Aiden.
I could easily end up a mess like Tobias. I'm being chased by the same people.
Let's not listen to Aiden. Let's just go and hack a bridge. So I've met Tobias Frewer and got this cyber code. Ah, right. I guess it's not going to tell me where to go yet.
He was high on medication or something. That guy has got to be careful. He's got fishers after him. If they find him, who knows what they'll do.
I've got the ancient cyber code, and now I can enter the bunker of the lost civilization. Let's just see if I can find a way to get there. This should do it. Race the train. It's no Shinkansen. So, the cyber bunker is going to be the new headquarters, from which we are to trace this IP address. That's going to kick off the next arc of the game, where we start dealing with the Black Viceroys. This is an interesting part. One of the less terrible parts of the story. It's definitely got its problems, but you can see what they were going for. But there is a little ceremony to stand on first. We've got to actually power up and activate the bunker. This is another point where the plot actually makes no sense. Frewer is like, oh, the bunker's unpowered, and he's like, yeah, I'll just deal with that. And because it's a video game, he can just deal with that. He can just find the power switches and hack them. But, you know, if we take ourselves out of the video game world for a second, it does not make a lot of sense to assume that you could just provide power to something. Like, normally you need wires, voltages, amps, possibly coulombs are involved.
I was putting a lot of faith in this selection. Tobias was pretty spooked by it. I'm not interested in the myth. If it helps me get Nikki, then I'll use it.
So technically you are interested in the myth as long as it's true. Okay, with this remote we can now turn on bridges.
Did you find Tobias?
I did.
And?
We played poker, had a nice talk.
What did he say?
Clara, it's real.
I told you. Don't go in without me. I'm on my way.
Don't worry. I still have to restore the power, and then we have to find an entrance. I'll see you soon.
It's not clear why this place would be so ancient and abandoned. I mean, CTOS was developed in the story like a few years ago. This seems unjustifiably ruined. Lift looks like a good starting point. So I've got to find the 3 switches, hit them. Sorry, I mean the 3 power generators and hack them. Same deal. It's another one of these open world jumping plus hacking puzzles. We have to follow the wires around, open the doors. It's not a bad way to do things. Perhaps this wasn't the right ways to go after all. Oh no, it is. Cool. Didn't notice this ramp. Clatter. So this is actually identical to the CTOS tower missions in the overworld, as distinct from CTOS headquarters. The tower ones reveal more parts of the map.
You look for an entrance. How would Bloom hide a place like this?
I hope there's a secret elevator. You pull a switch and the floor drops drops into a hidden base deep underground.
Underwater. We're on an island.
Wishful thinking. Up in one of the buildings. I'll keep looking.
Thankfully there's these perfectly okay cars and bikes lying around here because, again, this place has not actually been abandoned for very long. All the overgrowth, I guess, is just the majesty of nature. The fluency of the game world is really pretty good. Having power over your environment, you learn to recognize the patterns of things you can activate, right? And then you more or less, oh, I know what to do. Go up further. And then you just activate those things in those patterns, and you can move around in ways which other people do not have access to. It's appealing. It's a good form of gameplay. The game could have been good, basically. This could have been a game which doesn't make you angry when you play it. It could have been a game. I don't know if it could have ever lived up to the hype they generated at E3, because that was all about a very PC gaming kind of graphic quality thing. All kind of nonsense. It was never going to look like a photorealistic film, but it could have been a game which was fun and at worst silly. More than anything, I think it's that waste of potential which compels me to hate play this. 99 meters. Ah, there it is. Whatever that thing is on the ground, I've already got it. Crafting materials, I guess.
Almost there. Once we're in, can you get us
Make some
online?
stuff.
In my circle, this is the find of the century. If I fuck it up, you can take away my hacker card.
And do you actually have a hacker card?
Get us inside. Maybe I'll show it to you someday.
I'm working on it.
Cool. Climb the forklift. It's interesting to build a world vocabulary out of objects like forklifts. Level design for this sort of thing must be an interesting challenge, as every game is different to the last. You're working with a different palette. However, the whole thing gets overshadowed by just how horrible it is to work in the game industry for most people. That kind of environment is not too much a surprise, the kind of stories it creates.
Generators are back there. I'll just hack the gate.
Belay. Ah, yes, apparently I will just hack the gate. Cool. Oh, I see. A camera is fortuitously revealed. Oh, that's the best way up. Probably over here. Or not. I think I'm stuck. I definitely need to get up there and go through that thing. What if I go into the on top of this and then make it move? Ah, okay. Obviously, this one goes to the side. Okay, we hack the third generator.
Should do it.
And the bunker is accessed.
I found it. I just heard the system come back online.
Audio log.
Wait for me.
Why? It's perfectly safe. Nobody's been in the fight for years.
Because I want to see your face when the door opens.
I'm glad they're having fun and not being horrible. I don't think I saw this audio log on my first playthrough. I think that was Tobias talking to Ray Kenny. Another one. Engineers playing pranks on each other. Aha. So this keypad, just a little note. This never comes into the game. Like, it just literally is never used in the entire game. I don't know why it's there. We don't use that keypad. Who knows? So, the container is moving. It's taking us to the bunker, which as it turns out is an office building. It looks like a bunker inside though. Definitely pretty bunkery.
Oh, sweet
The music here is pretty triumphal.
See? I was right. Dad said we make good use of this.
Clara, we need to make a deal here. No one can know about this. At least until after I'm done with it.
Of course.
This then is the new Batcave.
Help me get her online.
I don't know how to. Fortunately, Aiden is some sort of tech guy, so
Fingers
he can do
crossed.
things. Oh, press a button.
Calice.
I wonder what that means. Probably a French word for French people. Calice. Actually, it's probably a swear word.
Looks like Bloom did most of the hardware, but... Voila.
Can we be traced from here?
I just love that. Stick the iPhone into the dock, and that's how you take over the computer. So,
What's special about it?
is it time to mention? We're tracing an IP address.
How did they...
These things are dynamically allocated by internet registries. They don't
This is pretty well hidden.
come from places. They're assigned to networks. You use a computer and you can change what its IP address is. It doesn't... It's nonsense. This plot element is nonsense. But whatever.
Sorry, territory.
It's standard CSI nonsense. That's fine.
There. Surveillance. Use those to get a peek inside. Can you connect from here?
No, they're completely off the grid. This is bizarre.
Well, if I can't connect from here, I'm gonna connect at the source.
I'll have you up and running before you're back.
Okay. We've got a cyber bunker, and it's pointed us to Rossi Fremont. there are all these cameras all over the city, draperies and things. The place looks pretty shut down. I wonder if the thing I remember is here. No, not yet. There'll be some more stuff here when we next come back. Most of it sucks a lot, so I might not come back soon. Yeah, again, this keypad. It looks like you're meant to use it to enter and exit the bunker or something, but you don't. You just hold your phone up. Did they not have time to put that animation in? Who knows?
Bringing Claire into this. I shouldn't. Trust is dangerous. But without her, I'd be nowhere. She's the closest I have to a friend right now.
Foreshadowing. Okay. Rossi Fremont in the wards. Have I got network access here? Looks like I do. I must have done that off screen. So here's the thing about Rossi Fremont. This is the ghetto. The projects. This section of the game is going to be about basically poverty and gang violence. A perennial subject of this sort of game. With how poorly they handle the main plot, you might be preparing to wince, or cringe, or perform some similar action. It can get bad, but it's maybe not that bad. There's some interesting stuff in there. Iraq, the leader of the Black Viceroys, is actually quite an empowered-ish character. I mean, Aiden runs roughshod off over him like he does over everyone in the world. But he's a smart guy. He's not... I mean, he is a violent psychopath, because he's a character in Watch _ Dogs, and everyone in this game is a violent psychopath. In fact, I believe, now that I think about it, Iraq is introduced beating someone to death. So, it's not exactly a positive portrayal. And most of the Viceroys are just mindless thugs, which is also not a positive portrayal. But there's some interesting stuff. There's a few humanized characters in the arc, and it works nicely thematically. You come to this fortress place and have to, over time, slowly crack it open, technologically, and then using a human proxy, and then finally go in yourself. I think it's the best structured part of the game. It might even be the best scripted part of the game. It has the least connection to Aiden's family bullshit and his tortured past. It just brings in this second hacker and what's really going on in the city, and it's kind of completely unconnected to the rest of the plot. Suspiciously unconnected, like it was clearly moved around in the story like a lot of other things were. But on its own, it's okay.
So you know, you're off my grid and in the dark.
Rossi Fremont. They had such big hopes for this place. All that did was bring the gangs together under one roof. Loyalty to your neighborhood just became loyalty to your housing block.
What about everybody else?
Aiden is, of course, a racist.
I'm gonna take a look around, try and figure out what they've been up to.
So, this is where we find out that the place is actually a
Maybe
high-tech
IP was
fortress.
somewhere in there. These guys running the place like a fortress. Never breaking alone. Okay, I'll tap into their network. You can get a look inside.
Just, you know, casual explosions. So the goal is to get to these places at the sides of the area and activate the 3 terminals so that I've got access to hack into this area from far away. Because right now, there's not a lot we can do here. There's too many soldiers to actually get inside the building. And besides, we don't know what we'd be walking into. It's a little bit silly, the repeated back and forth of the area. Because to do this mission, I'm actually going to have to wipe out most of the opposition. So having done that, you'd think, oh, you could just go in there. It gets a lot more convoluted than that because the game is into convolution. Actually, you are going out like this. Oh wow, he threw it on someone else. That's quite funny. Probably not what he intended. I don't know why I can see through walls. Yeah. Anyway, the first hack point is over here somewhere. Ah, that's right, there's snipers up in the building, aren't there? Might see if I can do something about them so that the rest of the area gets easier. I didn't help. Alright, it's time for an extended period of violence. Please excuse me while I just sort of break into this project and kill most of its residents. In my defense, this has been clearly described by the shittily written story as full of gang violence and bad people and so on, and therefore nobody can be blamed for just murdering their way through it. Another sniper. I don't think laser sights are actually visible like that. I mean, I'm no gun expert, but they would be dramatically less useful. Oh man, this guy is playing with fire. You should not have come here. Technically, I should not have come here. I mean, I am very much the intruder. But this guy has way too much protagonism to be messed with. Okay. Hack 1. Let's hope I don't get shot in the head while doing this. Oh, they still think I'm behind the other pile of bricks. Cool. Cool. This is a little unfair, using this high-powered sniper rifle on these poor gang guys. But whatever. I used my high-powered sniper rifle. I earned it fairly by stealing $40,000 from people on the street and purchasing it legally in a gun shop.
You ain't shit but a motherfucking punk.
Let's work my way around here to the next hack point. That's an audio log. It's going to tell us about Iraq. So Iraq is a lot younger than Lucky Quinn. Those two are basically the premier organised crime leaders in the city. And Iraq is tech savvy. He's a military veteran. He knows about computers and stuff, which is why his systems here are isolated. It's interesting that basically he is the smart guy and Lucky Quinn is the old school gangster. That sort of thing makes this part of the game a bit less uninteresting than the rest. Ultimately, though, it comes to very little, partly because the writers didn't talk to each other. So in other parts of the game, you find that the Black Viceroys are just enforcer thugs who in fact work for Quinn and his club and don't really get to talk back. So there's a bit of a confusion there. But ultimately, it does lead to the interesting revelation that Iraq is the second hacker, and that he's been building a blackmail library on everybody in the city. It's a little blunted by the fact that they reuse the same story elements again and again in this confused mishmash, and so Lucky Quinn has also been building a blackmail library on everyone in the city, and Bloom, the company, has also been building a blackmail library on everyone in the city. You've just got these... It is kind of nonsense. Like that video, the ultimate secret evidence, it ends up being this weird argument where some of the backstory indicates that the video was kind of commissioned and created by Bloom. But then Lucky Quinn is the one who actually has it. And then they kind of paper over this. Yeah. It could have been done better. Even the okay ideas in this game have been mashed up. They are Web 2.0, Writing 2.0, where instead of having ideas and characters, you have XML. That's basically this game. Killing that guy is a matter of priority before he can call in reinforcements. There's a hack you can get which enables you to disable reinforcement calls. When I first played through the game, I prioritized it quite highly, because it's a very relevant ability to playing in a stealthy, slow way. If you want to be cautious, disabling reinforcements is a good thing to do. But this time around there's an audience. I can't afford to take too long doing things. My natural instinct is still stealth, swapping between cover, shooting from a distance, etc. But I can't actually spend a million years on all of these things. Which is why occasionally I'm going to pull out the grenade launcher. Oh yeah, you totally got this. Oh hey, there's someone behind me as well. Thankfully, jam comms. Effective. Someone's thrown a grenade at me. No, it looks like they've accidentally thrown a grenade at themselves instead. Huh. Why would you do that? Hey, look at all these wires. Where the heck are they going? Wow, look at this animation. Look at this douchebag running with a gun behind him like he's so cool. Holy gosh. Ah, right. All the wires mean this is the central hack point. More logs. Yeah, I don't think I'll interrupt Iraq's logs. They could be worse. I'm gonna give the game what credit I can, because its lows are so low. There's really no need to exaggerate the bad stuff. it is self-accentuating. Yo, I'm out of here. Goodbye. So, time for another chase. See what? What? I don't know what happened. I blew up and I'm dead. Well, okay. The last game I played a lot was Dark Souls, where sudden, unexpected, and sometimes explosive death was quite ordinary. In this game it's not quite so usual. Okay, let's be a little bit more careful here. Something in there is very highly explosive. I just want to get through to the train tracks on the other side. I don't want to blow anything up. Oh, I see. It's that fuel tank. Okay, cool. Now let's get out of here. I'm auto-skedaddling. The auto standing for automobile rather than automatic. I think I took this same route in an earlier chase. Pretty sure I did, actually. It's cool, it worked then, it'll work now. Man, I have to be a little bit careful in the dark here. I can barely see the tracks. Yeah. That was pretty sweet. Okay, that's Iraq and the Viceroys. Well, that's the Viceroy's fortress.
Yeah, we are connected. You'll be able to speak into Rossi Fremont now.
Thank you for all of this. You really came through.
Hey, I can't resist an adventure. So I guess we're done.
No, I'm just getting started. I need to get in there, find some answers, and get my sister back.
And once you get your answers, what then?
Then I find out who did this, and I make sure they answer for it. Every single person involved in Nina's death.
God, he's a psychopath.
You still there?
Yeah, I'm here. Okay, I'll see you soon.
That is, if somebody called me up and just went, yeah, I can't stop until they're all dead, that would be scary to me. I'm not surprised it's scary to Clara. We'll return to the business of making sure they're all dead later.